In earlier discussions, we assumed that the energy is stored inside the two parallel plates. Inside the two parallel plates, either it is empty or filled with air. Suppose if we insert a dielectric medium inside the two parallel plates, then the capacitance of the capacitor gets altered. So the dielectric medium is inserted into the two parallel plates in two phases. The first one is when the capacitor is disconnected from the battery, and the second phase is that when the capacitor is connected to the battery. First, let us discuss about when the capacitor is disconnected from the battery. Consider two parallel plates whose cross-sectional area is A and they are separated by a small distance D, which is connected to a battery of voltage V0, and the charge stored in the two parallel plates is Q0. Before the introduction of dielectric medium, the capacitance of the capacitor will be C is equal to Q0 by V0. Now, let us introduce the dielectric medium in between the two parallel plates such that introducing the dielectric medium which gradually reduces the electric field. So the modified electric field can be written as E equal to E naught by epsilon r, where E naught is electric field inside capacitor and epsilon r is relative permeability of dielectric, and since epsilon r is greater than 1, which implies that E is less than E naught, the electrostatic potential also gets decreased. Which is V equal to EB. So when we disconnect the battery from the capacitor, the Q naught is same. Q naught is same. So VEB can be written as V is equal to, instead of V we can write it as E naught by epsilon r into D, and V is equal to V naught by epsilon r, where we can say E naught into D is equal to V naught. Since epsilon r is greater than 1, which implies that V is less than V naught, which indicates that the electrostatic potential is reduced after the introduction of dielectric medium. That the capacitance is inversely proportional to the potential difference. So in that case, as the potential difference decreases, so that the capacitance increases. So new capacitance, that is C equal to Q naught by V. As said earlier, while disconnecting the battery, the charge stored is same. So which is equal to Q naught by, instead of V, we can replace it with V naught by epsilon r. So which is Q naught epsilon r by V naught. So this we can write it as C equal to Q naught by V naught into epsilon r, which implies that the new capacitance is equal to C naught into epsilon r. So this is the new capacitance, and we know that epsilon r is greater than 1, which implies that the new capacitance is greater than the old one. So, as when we introduce, which results that when we introduce a dielectric medium, the capacitance increases. So, from the equation, we know the capacitance is equal to epsilon naught A by D. So, this can be written as C equal to epsilon A by D. So where epsilon naught is equal to epsilon. So this epsilon is nothing but permittivity of the dielectric medium. So the capacitance can also be written as C equal to epsilon A by. Before, dielectric medium can be written as U naught equal to 1 by 2 Q naught square by C naught. So after introducing the dielectric medium, it becomes U is equal to 1 by 2 Q naught square by C, and we know that C can be written as U is equal to 1 by 2 Q naught square by C naught into epsilon naught. So U is equal to 1 by 2 Q naught square by C naught into 1 by epsilon naught. So we know that 1 by 2 Q naught square by C naught is nothing but U naught. So U is equal to U naught by epsilon naught. Since epsilon r is greater than 1, we can say that U is less than U naught. So after the introduction of dielectric medium, the energy stored is reduced, because the energy stored will be used by the plates in order to pull the dielectric molecule. The second case is when the capacitors are connected with batteries. In this case, V naught remains same. So when a dielectric medium is introduced, the charge gets increased by a factor of epsilon naught. So the charge can be written as Q is equal to epsilon naught into Q naught. So as there is an increase in charge, the capacitance also increases. New capacitance C is equal to epsilon naught Q naught by V naught. So C is equal to epsilon naught C naught. So we now let us take C naught equal to epsilon naught A by D, and the new capacitance is equal to epsilon A by D. So the new capacitance can be written in format of C is equal to epsilon A by D. So the energy stored in this case is, before the dielectric medium, U naught is equal to 1 by 2 C naught V naught square. In this case, we are not using the formula, that is U naught is equal to 1 by 2 Q naught square by C naught, because we are not using this formula because both the Q naught and C naught gets changed after the introduction of dielectric medium. So U naught is equal to 1 by 2 C naught V naught square. So after introducing the dielectric medium, after dielectrics, the charge stored can be written as U equal to 1 by 2 C V naught square. So which can be written as U equal to 1 by 2. We know that C can be written as epsilon naught C naught into V naught square, and U can be written as U equal to U naught into epsilon r, since epsilon r is greater than 1, which implies that U is greater than U naught. So when battery is connected, in this the energy stored in the capacitance gradually increases. So the energy density can be written as U equal to 1 by 2 epsilon E naught square, where epsilon is permittivity of the dielectric medium. So the result is that when battery is connected, the energy stored is increased by a factor of epsilon R. Capacitors in series. Consider three capacitors C1, C2 and C3 are connected in series, and all the three capacitors are connected to a battery of voltage V. Electrons from the negative terminal gets transferred to right side plate of capacitor 3, which transfers the electrons to right side plate of C2, and further which induces the electrons to the right side plate of the capacitor C1. So from the left side of C1, the electrons are transferred to the positive terminal of the battery, and the voltage across all the capacitor varies, so that we take it as V1, V2 and V3. Now the total voltage can be written as V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. We know that Q is equal to CV, which implies that V is equal to Q by the total capacitance. So for the potential difference of individual capacitors can be written as V1 is equal to Q by C1, and V2 is equal to Q by C2, and V3 is equal to Q by C3. Substituting all these values in this, we get Q by Cs is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3. As we know that the charge in all the capacitors are same, Q by Cs is equal to, taking the charge outside, Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. When the capacitors are connected in series, the equivalent capacitance is equal to sum of the inverse of the individual capacitance. Next is capacitors connected in parallel. Consider three capacitors C1 and C2 and C3 are connected to a battery of voltage V. Since the capacitors are connected in parallel, the voltage across the capacitors remains same, and the capacitors have different capacitance. The charge stored in the capacitor varies. So the charge we can write it as Q1, Q2 and Q3, and we know that Q is equal to CV. So as they are connected in parallel, we can write that Q is equal to CPV. So the charge associated with individual capacitance can be written as Q1 is equal to C1V, Q2 is equal to C2V, and Q3 is equal to C3V. So substituting, the total charge can be written as Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Substituting all these values in this equation, so Q can be written as CPV is equal to Q1 can be written as C1V plus C2V plus C3V. So CPV is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 into V. So the capacitance which are connected is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So the final expression gives that the equivalent capacitance when a capacitor are connected in parallel is equal to sum of the individual capacitance.